Welcome to week 2 of the Spartan Radio. All right, that's the name, Spartan Radio? Yep. I think we got to try that again.
Yep. No, it's good. People want this.
Good point. Welcome to week 2 of the Spartan Radio, the place for your local high school information. My name is Daniel Magiera. This here is Adler Johnston as my co-host. And let's get started. If anyone has any ideas for stuff that we should put on the podcast, anything that you'd like us to discuss, email us at spartanspectatorcast@gmail.com. I realized I said that incorrectly last week. So, this week, spartanspectatorcast@gmail.com. A couple announcements to make before we get really started. On June 15th, the town is holding a meeting during which people can discuss what they would hope for in a new East Long Meadow High School building, the physical building itself. So we get to do that on June 15th. There's going to be a couple other meetings that they hold before then for different stuff. But that's the main one that we should really be going to, so that way you can voice, stuff that you don't really like with the current building, so that we can put it into the new one. Another thing, June 6th, the Bio MCAS for the freshmen, right? Good luck with all that. Again, talk to your teachers if you have any questions for that. The last day for seniors is this Friday, so finish all your classes up. Make sure your grades are up there, and good luck with all your future endeavors. Lastly, the heartbreaking tragedy yesterday of the shooting, the 18-year-old who shot, and I forget the name of the town, but down in Texas, terrible tragedy.
Look it up.
Please send your thoughts and prayers out to them. And then, I think, ready? Yep. So, I think one of the main things we didn't do last week that I'd like to do this week is really introduce ourselves so people know kind of who we are. So, for me, my name's Daniel Magiera. I'm a junior at East Long Meadow High School. I was homeschooled until freshman year, and then I came in, which was entertaining.
Exciting.
I was a gymnast up to that point, and then I quit at the beginning of my freshman year when I started up football, so I could pursue football, wrestling, and then baseball I didn't do because of COVID and haven't gotten back into that one. I used to play piano, guitar, and I was a piano guitar. I kind of touched the bass every once in a while if I had one, but I didn't really use one a lot. But I was a part of a band that performed at a couple, Long Meadow days. We did a couple at Sonny's Place. I think 3 times at the Thunderbirds shows. The Thunderbirds games we played. That was a great time. I'm a linebacker, running back for football. I'm the 152 for the wrestling team and team captain. Adler?
Well, I feel like a lot of people that know me kind of have a way of making my presence known.
Good point.
So I'm Adler. I've been here since 7th grade. I've made a few friends. I'm in the band.
What do you play?
I play the trumpet in concert band and jazz band. Jazz band. I play the flugelhorn, which it's pretty much a trumpet, but it's shaped different and it kind of sounds cooler. I'm in Model Congress with Dan. I work at Big Y. There's not really anything else pretty exciting.
I'm also a gymnastics coach over at Ridge Gymnastics. I love that place. It's great. Let's see. Yeah, so that's my main job as a gymnastics coach. I worked at the ice rink at the center of town a couple years ago. That was a blast. I had a fun time with that. I don't play hockey. I used to, but I know how to skate. And
I'm terrible at it. I'm god awful. The first time I went out skating, probably 7 or 8. I fell and my head just slammed on the ice, but it didn't just fall. It bounced a little bit. That might explain a lot, actually. Now that I think about it,
that's a very good point. But that's kind of dark, but we'll go with it. I never shot a hockey puck, and then my next door neighbor decided he was going to make a backyard rink. And the second he made a backyard rink, I was on my skates. I was stealing my dad's sticks. I was using their pucks, and I was just shooting for an hour a day. I still don't know how to shoot very well, but it was a great time. Then you would miss the net every once in a while, and a lot more than every once in a while. So you would just on your skates, you would just start climbing down the side of his driveway. It was a very steep driveway, or a very steep hill. It wasn't a driveway. Don't worry, I don't do that on my skates. But I was walking down the grass with this snow and ice on my skates sideways down the hill. And then just collecting as many pucks as I could find and tossing them back up, which was a lot of fun. I did that with a couple of my friends, and then they opened up the rink down here, and that's when I immediately applied for and got the job. And that was a blast working there. Went to Duncan every once in a while.
Yep.
Made a couple of my friends. Brennan McLaughlin, who used to be the voice of the LCAT Sports. Him with Devin Dobek. So me and Brennan would do a lot of that stuff. He'd talk about the football, modern sports stuff, how it's going, all that stuff. But that was a great time. All right, and then for some of the topics today, baseball won their game against Central. I don't know what the result of the game was for last night. They were either playing Longmeadow or Westfield. Alec, look that up for me. Who won in that Longmeadow or Westfield game?
All right.
I didn't get a chance to go because we had our Model Congress event, which we're going to discuss later. But we had it was a super fun time when we had that the game. I saw a couple of my friends or parents from when I played baseball. They were there supporting their kids. One of them who was a sophomore that just got pulled up, Christian Harding. I was talking to John Harding, who's a lawyer out here, and I believe he ran for a town office. He didn't get it, and then he ran for a state senator, I think. And it turns out that he didn't have the requirements met for residency or something. I believe he was here for 4.5 years, and he needed to be here for a full 5, which was I would have liked to see him as that guy. He was great man to be around. I love hanging out with him. Good old, he's an ex-Marine, and I want to go into the Navy, so it was a great time talking to him. But I went to the baseball game, and I saw Jacob Bichette, who was playing right field. I forget who was pitching. He went out for a ball that was hitting to foul territory, and he missed it by a foot, which was a long trot. It wasn't like it was a small game. He had to move to get it, and he barely missed it. He was under it. He just slid and couldn't quite get the glove under. He couldn't track it while sliding, and it was impressive to see. And then after that, they had one out prior to that, and then I saw out game. I know they were down 0-3. What inning was that?
0-3.
I believe.
Seeing 0-3.
Yeah, look at.
Wait, am I not? What am I missing here?
No, I think you're the wrong
one. What
yeah,
day is
there was
this?
a playoff. They had the playoff game yesterday, so I don't know.
Yesterday. Oh,
yeah, yesterday they had their
this
playoff
is for
game.
Monday.
Yeah. So let's see. What was the result of the Longmeadow?
Oh, Longmeadow. I thought you were talking about East Longmeadow. We're in East Longmeadow.
Baseball. Yeah. So the result of this game, of the Longmeadow versus
0-1.
Who won?
Westfield.
Was that yesterday?
This was Longmeadow's game yesterday.
Yesterday, and
Yeah.
it was Westfield 1. All right, so East Longmeadow's gonna be playing with Westfield for their next playoff game, which they're a good team. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, but you know who else is a good team?
East Longmeadow.
East Longmeadow.
They've been playing well. They've had a really good end of the season. They started off slow.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of guys on the team that had low confidence going into the season. We weren't even going to make the playoffs kind of confidence. And now they've won their first round of the Western Mass playoffs. Kicking Springfield Central out of the playoffs. It's not they beat, a smaller team.
Longmeadow.
Longmeadow's pretty good team this year. But either way, it's not like they beat, a small team. They went out and beat Central for their first playoff game of the season, which was crazy. And that's, love to see that.
Maybe we can keep the ball rolling,
Yeah, they got to. I would really like to see East Longmeadow baseball return to its former glory of just prior to COVID, when they were the year before we went into school, where they won it.
Yeah.
Right, they won Western Mass Championships, I believe, right?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to sports, but that sounds cool.
Yeah, they won the Western Mass, or they won the Western Mass Championship that year. I don't know what division or anything like that. I know they won it. I remember I was a second baseman. For my teams, I was always on the C team because I never tryouts didn't really matter at that age. It was kind of so that way when you get to high school, you know what you're doing, tryout.
Yeah.
So I did the tryouts and they were fun. And then I was always on the C team. And then by my 8th grade year, there were like 3 people on the C team, which were like just hitting everything. So like I must have had like a 500 batting average. Like for a C team kid, it was just 500. Every other ball that was hit or that was thrown in my direction was a hit. My on base percentage must have been insane, which isn't saying much. It's C team. Like I get it. I'm playing and I was having a blast with it.
It could have been on no team, you know?
Yeah, at least I was on a team and I was playing the game. Like I had loved it. And then I played second base, which I was no stud at. I played center field, which I was, again, no stud at. I liked catcher. I was a good catcher. I had that like wide top body frame for it, which is like what you see in every classical catcher ever. And that was a lot of fun. So that was a baseball. I'm not sure about a ton of other sports going on right now. I know softball had a good season, so I'm expecting them to do well in the playoffs, like really well in the playoffs. I'm excited to see how that goes. I'll probably go to one of those games. Now for the school building, I'm curious about that because I know our building is trashed.
It's horrible. It's bad.
Like
it's disgusting.
We've seen ceiling tiles on the ground here.
Many times. It's like a weekly occurrence. Anytime it rains, it's like the same spots and some new ones that are leaking. It's time. We need a new school.
We need something fixed. We need what I heard was happening. I can't confirm this. What I heard was happening was that they were trying to on purpose trash the building. Like rather than trying to fix it, they were just going to kind of like do a mini patch job at best. So rather than fixing the ceiling tile that's falling on the ceiling, just throw a bucket under it so that way it drips into it, and then when the whole thing realizes
the water's not done leaking yet, so like you gotta wait for the water to stop before you put another ceiling tile because you wouldn't want the new ceiling tile to get ruined like the one before it.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of stuff hoops have had to jump through with the state because it's not always very easy getting money, especially for something like a new school, which is very expensive. I actually talked to Mr. Smith about it. He like at first I was like, why is our school trash? And he actually explained, he's like, there's a lot going on that's like, for us it's hard to understand, but for them, they've got a lot they're dealing with. But I think that's why it's good they're gonna have an open discussion so they can actually hear the concerns of like what people
especially
have and like what they want out of a new school. Especially the high schoolers because we're the ones that go to school.
Yeah, we have all the issues like. I know someone who saw a girl get a ceiling tile fall onto her head when we were in 8th grade.
I remember that. About that.
Yeah, one of my friends was like, yeah, my friend just had a ceiling tile fall on her head. I don't know what ended up happening. I'm guessing she was okay.
Yeah.
But, it was just, like, what? Can we just put a new ceiling tile there? I've seen some, like, the school... The lockers are really old. I don't see reason for lockers anymore.
Though.
Yeah, no one uses lockers except in movies.
Yeah, well, and also at some schools they don't allow you to have your bag with you. They don't allow you to have. A lot of them don't even allow having your phone with them. Some schools have you put the phone in the locker. With
what is it? It's Chicopee, right?
Yeah.
That makes you like drop your phone off at the office at the beginning of the day.
That's crazy. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I wouldn't do that. Crazy. Yeah, no chance. I'd bring 2 phones.
No, I wouldn't even bring 2 phones. I was like, I don't have a phone.
Yeah, what are you
doing? You gonna search me because I don't have a phone?
Yeah, I'm not.
No, it's not that big.
Like, especially in this day and age, like I get it. Maybe you don't want us using social media in class. Okay, fine. You got some kids that are always on Snapchat. They're always on Instagram. Always on TikTok.
Just maybe in general, like outside of class, that's annoying. Like you can't even communicate with these people.
I feel like talking to someone is just on their phone, glued to it.
Unless you're looking at memes to your friend, that's different.
All right, if you're looking at memes because your friend sent you something funny, that's all right. But you got to do it like out of class when the teacher's not talking.
Well, no. But you ever just be sitting around with someone's like, hey, look at this, and they show you funny things in their phone, you show them funny things in yours.
Yeah, you go through like your entire camera roll, finding everything that
all like
that's funny.
The rancid, terrible, funny things that you have on there.
Yeah.
Well, some people I don't.
Yeah, so I always have a blast with that. Getting like. Just pulling out my phone and stuff. Like, there's reasons for phones nowadays as well. Like, for me, my parents don't take away my phone anymore because I usually need it. I have a reason to be on my phone.
Lucky you.
All right, well, the reason is because I drive. So if I'm driving one day, what are they going to do if I get into a car accident? I can't call them. Well, You just defeated the purpose of buying me a
Yeah.
phone. Like, at least buy me something so I can contact you.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's kind of important nowadays where I'm at the age of 17 where I need stuff. I need to do stuff, and I need to let people know stuff. I need to make my plans. It's not like when I was, 11 years old and my parents would still wake me up for school every morning and I would need to, like, I needed my phone. I didn't need my phone, and I was just sneaking it at 9 o'clock at bed thinking, oh my God, I'm so sneaky. Now I'm 17. If I want to stay up late, I can stay up late.
All the real ones snuck their DS under the pillow.
Oh God, yeah, you'd have the
Playing
DS.
Lego Star Wars at like 2 a.m.
Now Pokemon. I'll play Pokemon.
You're just different, I guess. I mean, maybe people play Pokemon. I never played it. I never got into it. Lego Star Wars though. I'm all about that.
I like the new Lego Star Wars. I've been playing that one a little bit. I finished all the story mode.
On the Xbox?
Yeah.
That's $60. I mean,
I noticed that.
like, no, when you start to
Lower than
realize
$60.
when you start working, you don't see money as money. You see money as hours worked.
That's how I've thought about
And
it.
so
as well.
so at like what $14.25 an hour, which is the minimum wage in Mass, $60 for a game. That's more than 4 hours of my labor.
So you can play a game
So
for
I can
like
play
12 hours.
Lego
though.
Star Wars. Well, all right, that's true.
So like it's worth it because in my break time I'm actually gonna play it.
Yeah,
It's
but
not like I'm not gonna play the game.
But let's just say I do that for this one game, and then I do it for another game and another game. I know that's a logical fallacy, but I know for me personally that's true because that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'll do. I'll keep buying stuff until I realize, wait, where'd all my money go?
Yeah, and then it's like, wait, I have no money anymore.
So I'm very tight with my own money. I try to be smart with it.
I'm kind of smart with it. I'm kind of not necessarily a saver. I'm more of a like, just kind of keep a look on it. So
Yeah.
I make sure I have enough for whatever I need at that time.
Yeah.
So like I got into a car accident. So my mom paid for the car. So it was a $2,200 accident, right? That's expensive accident. I had $1,500 in my bank account. So I couldn't really give out more than $1,000 because I needed the $500 for anything else. So my mom agreed with me that I'll give her $1,000 on that spot. My mom will pay for it for the whole thing, and then I just have to do monthly payments until I'm done.
Did she give you interest?
No interest.
So that was nice.
So all I have to do is just pay back every month $100, which my mom has it already set up to just take out of my account, which is perfect for me, which means I don't have to find a check and give it to my mom. Like it's a check I don't want to give my mom.
I don't know if I should flex this or not. I'm not gonna say exactly how much I have saved, but if I had a $2,200 accident,
You could pay it.
I could pay it. I couldn't buy a car. I'd have to walk to work again, but I could pay for the accident.
You could pay for the accident.
I'd have to wait like another 3, 4, 5 months, maybe more, because cars are very expensive now.
Yeah.
I got lucky on the one I found.
I got my truck from my uncle. I have a nice, super old. It has like 210,000 miles on it. It's a 2008 black F-150. I have a nice Spartan football sticker on the back corner of it. A Vermont Wildlife Association on another side, and then a hole above the back right tire.
See, I got a 2009 gray Nissan Sentra with a Jesus dancing on a spring in my car.
Jesus dancing on a spring?
Yep. It's like one of those little hula girls, but it's Jesus. It's even better. I personally think it's better.
I agree. I think that would be way better.
All right.
Now, back to like what we should be talking about.
Yeah.
So, for the building discussion, just to kind of close it out, June 15th, please go take a look at that because we really need a new school, especially alumni who have already been here. Like, it's gotten worse. So please
Day by day.
check it out. Especially if you're an alumni and you've been here, like graduates of 2020, where you were here somewhat recently, you remember enough about the building to talk about it. Come down, talk to them, and then we can hopefully get a much better building and get a better building than Longmeadow.
No, there's no way.
Easily.
So when we were at Longmeadow on Monday,
Yeah.
it was a kid on the way out. We were admiring the school. He's like, "Yep, that's what it's like to be in the highest tax bracket in the state." I'm like, "All right, did you really have to go there on that?
Yeah, to the tax brackets.
Did you really have to flex that we're poor? Like,
I know what you mean. Like, come on,
I'm
really?
that's terrible. That's evil.
Oh,
Actually,
welcome to Longmeadow.
that's
It was
okay,
funny, though.
And let me just say, at our Model Congress event, let's get to that.
Yeah, we'll move on to Model Congress event now.
They want to flex that they're in the highest tax bracket. They got us 2 Domino's pizzas with super thin crusts. Now, I'm not complaining. I'm not ungrateful. I'm glad there was pizza. But
if you're in the highest tax bracket, you can buy a better
you can buy
pizza.
some nice pizza. And outside of the fact that I'm a Big Y employee, you can go to Big Y and for like a decent price, get a party pizza with nice crust and nice, decent enough sauce and cheese. I mean, it's good, but it's nothing like special, but it's good.
Yeah.
I would have been much more satisfied with some Big Y party pizza in my tummy than like a little.
You know,
It was like sauce and cheese.
You get like a 2x2 square.
It was like sauce and cheese on a cracker. It's like, I'm not ungrateful, but
come on, do better.
like, is that really how you? Is that
We at
really
least-
what you think of us?
Like,
do you not?
all you appreciate?
Do you just want to show like, yeah, we got this money, but we're not giving you money?
Yeah, yeah. When I had that event was a blast.
It was great though. I do have to say, like, aside from the pizza.
Yeah,
it
we
was
checked in
awesome.
with Mr. Phelan at 2:00, and the event was at 3, and we just kind of talked to him for a minute or two, cracked a couple jokes, and he said, "All right,
Love talking to Mr. Phelan.
be there at like 2:55, and we'll head over." All right, sounds good. So I go there for like, I stop at Dunkin', grab my iced coffee because you gotta have your iced coffee. It's hot.
You gotta have iced coffee. I was fine. I was running on whatever I was running on. I just went.
I needed iced coffee.
It's all
So
right.
I went over there with my iced coffee. Showed up at about 2:55, like right on time. Parked in this teacher's parking lot by accident. I'll say I didn't know what it was.
But that's okay because that's where you're supposed to park.
Yeah, it was good.
Meanwhile, I was late. I got caught in their car line. I was like, where am I going?
Yeah, you got all lost.
And I was getting looks. And then I come in, and apparently I was dressed like a vampire, wearing the red and the black, and like apparently my collar messed up. I didn't know.
You did. Yeah, your collar was like half
Everybody's
up
looking
on
at
one
me. It's
side,
like,
so I was like,
who
why
is
do
this
you look
kid?
like,
Why is he here? What is he doing? I'm uncomfortable.
why
And
do
I
you
was
look like Count Johnston out
it's like,
here?
hey, I'm sorry. I'm here for the Model Congress. It's like, that doesn't help.
Yeah, you look way worse when you say, "I'm here for Model Congress, thank you." Yeah. So I went there. We went in. We didn't know where it was supposed to be, so we went on to the office and asked them where it was. And
there was a kid sitting out front. When
he
I
didn't.
Went there.
Yes,
The
because
kid who was talking about Byzantine numismatics.
yes, that was him. So
I don't
what
know.
was
I
his
remember
name?
his name.
Something Wu, right? Mr. Wu. We'll just call him Mr. Wu, right? It was definitely
Probably,
Wu.
maybe.
It was like
I don't
Jacob
know.
Wu, right?
I don't know what his name was. But
I'd like
he
to say
was,
his name was
he
Jacob
was,
Wu.
He was funny, and he
He
was
was.
cool. Remember when he
So
he's like, "What is a woman?" in the middle of the debate. It's like,
yeah, that was rough.
Dude.
That was awkward. But all right. To be fair, the woman there that she did kind of bring up the joke. She did kind of bring up the whole topic
it was getting,
of
it was getting, for lack of a better word, silly at that time.
Yeah.
Because it was something about proposing a draft, and she was talking about, while laughing about, because we all kind of knew that a draft was a bad idea, but we're like, yeah, let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
And she was like, why doesn't the draft have women? And I'm like, that's actually a great question, in
Yeah.
reality. And then this kid is like, what's a woman? And
We're like, oh, come on. No, I'm not talking anymore.
It's
And
like-
it's like, really? But it was all right. It wasn't bad. We had fun with it still.
everybody, it was lighthearted. Everybody was goofing around. It was fine.
Yeah.
What, within the first hour, we were talking about, like, serious about whether or not... The bill was about the U.S. sending 30,000 troops over the next 30 days into Ukraine.
Yeah. So it was to the bill was originally designed to be a Ukrainian support bill.
Yeah.
So it was to be send 30,000 troops over 30 days to Ukraine to help the Ukrainian troops.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a declaration of war. It was supposed to be like a conflict similar to the early 2000s in the Middle East. It
That
was
didn't end very well either, though, so...
yes. So it's supposed to be like a conflict, you could say. And then we were just going to have the guys stay there for 30 days or for however long supporting. And then we didn't cap the number of troops that could be sent over either. So the president,
Yeah.
and it was, he said like up to the president was the original design of the bill.
One of the people was like, oh, why should it be up to the commander-in-chief? And I wanted to say, I was like, do you know what the term commander-in-chief means?
Yeah.
Commander-in-chief. He is
he's the one that can
supreme
decide that. That's like
commander of the military.
that's like his entire
Granted,
job.
nowadays there's a bunch of advisors and stuff that help them, and they've in a way disempowered, but kind of for the better, because they actually try to keep the president like, hey, are you sure about this? Because they explain all of the other things that are supposed to be happening.
All the other options, all the other bad things that could happen, which is a good thing. So I didn't mind it. It was just like, wait a second, is this where we want to go with this? But it was like still a super fun event. Yeah. And we proposed a bunch of different amendments. I proposed one to just, if Russia harms any individual U.S. soldier that goes over there, this bill becomes a declaration of war.
Yeah.
And I proposed that because I could tell it was kind of getting, silly. And I know it's a serious matter, but you could still tell at this point, like, everyone's kind of goofing off. Yeah. Let's just go as, like, let's just jump to conclusions here. Let's just jump as far as possible. And I did, and everyone was kind of like, well, all right, here we go. And
then I was like, all right, I'm gonna speak in opposition to this. I was like, I'm gonna oppose Dan.
Yeah, you set up to oppose me.
And I started off by being serious. I'm like, why are we dancing around the fact that this bill is getting us close to war with them? Why are we just gonna say wait for them to shoot somebody? That's putting the onus on them trying to make it look like that. When in reality, it's like it's already a declaration of war. Just say flat out, and. I was like, oh, well, they're not, I kind of feed off other people's energy, and I didn't really see anybody smiling. I saw everybody like, oh, this kid's taking it seriously. So next time I went up, I'm like, you know what? Because somebody said it was lacking logical following with a war declaration. I'm like, you know what, you're right. We need logical following. Let's send half of our stockpile of nukes to the North Pole and the other half to the South Pole. No more people, no more Earth, no more wars. Done.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and Mr. Phelan's like, wow, it really only took an hour to get to nuking the entire world with you people.
Mr. Phelan was like, the teacher for it was just kind of like initially, all right, they're doing pretty good right now. They're staying serious. And then Adler stands up, let's just nuke the planet.
Well, I think it was good though that we had that kind of environment where we hadn't really done anything in a long time. Most of us were inexperienced. Some people have never been in model Congress before that were there.
It kept it informal.
And right, which really kind of kept it open to learning, because I noticed that throughout the course of it, people actually started to get better at like making sure they were saying the right things and like going up and actually speaking and like their word choice. Like it was more of like a learning environment opposed to like a competitive environment, which is like the legit model Congress is.
You just start talking and
I like that.
Yelling at people at that point.
And I really think we should pair up with Longmeadow more to do those kind of things. So long as we buy the pizza, I think that's not a problem. That's an expense that's worth taking. Yeah, I don't even mind paying for the pizza. I just want some good pizza. Not to be ungrateful, but
what's the best pizza in East Longmeadow?
In East Longmeadow, everybody's gonna say Pizza Shop, and you can't argue with them. Pizza Shop is so good.
It's got to be Pizza Shop.
It is, but I'm gonna be honest. I like Peppa's.
Peppa's is good too.
Peppa's is amazing.
When I was a kid, I'd go to Peppa's with my dad.
We live in an area. We are surrounded by good pizza, everywhere. Even Big Y Pizza, and some other places would be considered really good pizza. Here, it's just like, that's pizza.
What are the places? Let's rank them. We have Pizza Shop, Donardo's, Big Y.
I've never been to Donardo's for pizza.
I've been to Donardo's. It's pretty good. Big Y,
Peppa's.
Right, that's it.
Did you seriously just rank Peppa's below Big Y?
I haven't ranked them yet. This is just the list.
Okay. I'm
making a list here. Don't get mad at me yet. I'm listing them.
If you ever had Peppa's garlic knot crust with some meatball pizza and onions, it's like, it's amazing.
I'm just listing them. All right. So are we gonna agree that Pizza Shop's number one?
Yeah, I'll agree.
I think Pizza Shop's number one.
Yeah, I only go to Peppa's because it's closer to my house. That's all I'm saying.
All right, fair. Yeah, Pizza Shop is super close. They're just sweet crust, and I love it.
It's scrumptious.
Yes. And then there's you can't go wrong. It's always like, even now, I'll just walk in there, sit down with a friend.
Yep.
And it's just automatic happiness.
Yeah.
It brings back childhood memories. And then we go over to Big Y. Do we want to rank that second, third, or fourth?
It's after Peppa's.
So it's after Peppa's. I think Donardo's is as good as Peppa's. So I'm going to say Big Y is fourth, but it's still good.
Yeah, and so 3 and 4 are
3, 4,
however
split,
they fall. I'm going to say Peppa's only because their garlic nuts. Oh my God, their garlic nuts. They're so good. They are so. I mean, I like garlic nuts.
Yeah.
In general. But
I can see that.
Peppa's is so good.
All right. All right, so we'll go. I think the order we're going to go with Pizza Shop, Peppa's, Donardo's, Big Y.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's the order. That's the order for the top
That's
4
fair.
pizzas.
Let us know anybody who
Put in the
actually
comments
watches this.
Yeah, put in the comments below for the
Yeah,
how many viewers.
Or
do you
just
think
tell
that-
us in person if we have some views that you are like vehemently against in regards to pizza. Let us know, and feel free to express it however you want, as long as you're relatively polite. Don't hurt me. But I understand pizza is a very serious subject, and people do get personal
People
about it.
take this seriously.
We were getting pretty serious about it. Like, there's a couple moments where I was like,
We've really thought about
it's
this.
like I was like, am I even friends with Dan anymore?
Yeah, don't
But
worry.
I am,
Do
I
not
am.
worry. I did not. I was.
Oh my
I was
God.
listing them first. I wasn't ranking them. Yes, I've noticed that happens, Adler.
That's amazing.
All right, and then the last thing, the last thing we want to do, the class is closing out. So
Yes.
what are you doing in classes now? I know we have pre-calc together, but other than that,
Business law, it's kind of just the same thing. Mr. Barbuti keeps it pretty laid back. I mean, like, it feels laid back, but we're actually doing things, surprisingly.
yeah.
Like, I like the class, so it doesn't feel that.
Is
like,
it business
that
law
too
1 or
difficult.
2?
Business law 2, because I took business law 1 as a freshman because I'm an overachiever.
I
No,
took
no,
it
I'm
as a
not.
sophomore.
I'm not an overachiever, but, like, in that situation, I am.
I got like a 99 in that class.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a good class. I think it's interesting. It's the first thing is like, okay, these are the laws. These are how they work. These are how they apply sometimes.
I like that.
And
I
the
thought it was fun.
business law 2 is like, what does that look like in your life? And so we did a lot of stuff with like property, contract law, like the parts of a contract, what contracts mean, and then we took that and we went on to like leasing and like landlords and and tenant situations and like buying a home, buying a car, buying anything, what the like the actual like legalities behind that are, what you actually have to do. And right now we're talking about like all like the legal stuff with opening a credit card account or having a credit card account. And so it's a little bit like personal finance in that regard.
Yeah.
Like he teaches, so he teaches a little bit about like the math, but a lot of it is like there's a lot of paperwork in everything you do. When I opened my bank account, I let my dad do all the talking.
Yes, same.
Did not know what was going on. Not at all. Now, I understand a couple things because, the class.
You need to.
Have the class. You need to know because we're gonna graduate next year. Like these poor seniors are gonna graduate, June
You better
3rd.
have a clue. You gotta have a clue.
I have no idea what I couldn't tell you what I had for breakfast. I had a cup of coffee this morning. Actually, that's a lie. But generally speaking, I don't really know what's going on at any given time.
Yeah.
So
You just gotta walk in and wing it. See what happens.
you gotta pray for the best.
I know what you mean. Yeah. So our pre-calc class, she's going full throttle trying to finish out this year.
Yeah.
The seniors are done this Friday, but everyone else in this class still has stuff to do. We still have we have our final, and she wants to get our last quiz or big old test in.
Yep.
With all that stuff.
Thank you,
So
Miss Crane.
yeah, I think
That's
she's
not
right.
a diss to Miss Crane.
She's
Miss
right.
Crane's a great teacher.
I think she's right.
amazing.
We do kind of need a final. We haven't
We
taken.
do
a final
need a
in any
final.
class.
She's right, but
We just don't.
I don't
want
to take a final.
We just don't want to take a final.
I'm actually. I checked out like about a month ago because I'm just done.
Yeah,
actually,
mentally speaking, I'm
not a
done.
month. Mostly after the AP test. So like May 10th, I was like done, out of here, gone.
Yeah.
But I gotta stick with it because it's the mad dash to the finish line right now, and I gotta make sure my grades are in decent standing.
Yeah.
That I'm staying relatively focused and on task.
I know your D block is gym class.
Well, it's gym band. It's like so. Sometimes you have full band, and like we kind of switch off between gym and band, so we can get the gym credit still because we need to take gym. But we could also have band full year that way. Speaking of band, we have a. Oh, these mics are really strong.
Acute observation here, Adler. You're just noticing that now.
No,
like,
I do it
whenever
all the
I
time.
tap the
It's
underside of the
amazing.
desk. Watch, ready? It's loud. I'm just tapping.
They can hear me whispering too. Isn't that
You can
amazing?
hear me whispering from back here.
I know, but when I get close to the mic, it's okay. Anyways, band concert tonight, and well, instrumental concert tonight. Starting off with orchestra, then we hit it with jazz band and the concert band. I think
Great.
it's gonna be the last concert of the year, last concert for all these seniors.
That's sad.
That's got to be like an emotional thing for them or something. I mean, I don't know. I got another year of this stuff.
I know, like, even for me as a junior, when the wrestling season ended, like, I just sat in the wrestling room, like, in the small gym, which is our wrestling room. I just sat there for, like, an extra 20 minutes. I didn't want to leave. Like, everyone else was long since out of the building. And I was like, all these seniors, like, Mitchell Aarons, Tanner McTaggart, even Marcus Clark, who didn't wrestle this year a ton, but he came a couple times. Like, they were leaving. Jack learned. Like, this was their last day. So it was kind of like a sad moment for me because I'm like, wow, now I really have to step up. Like,
yeah.
I stepped up before. I stepped up this year to be a captain as a junior. And then, like, I realized, I'm like, oh, my God, I need to be the guy right now. Like, the man. And once I realized that, I was like, oh, boy.
You're Dan the man.
And I kind of just sat there for, like, an extra... I knew I had, like, 2 weeks of wrestling left. But I just couldn't quite leave the building yet. I'm like, wow, once I leave this, these seniors are done. I'm not having another practice with these guys. And that was it. I left, and I was like, wow, okay. So it was sad, but I can definitely see why for them it's going to be weird. Like, even when I quit gymnastics, it was like that. It was like, I've been doing this for, like, 10 years now, and I'm just going to stop. I'm just not going to go back. And it's going to be super sad for me to never go on the rings and try giant, never go on the bars and do a double back, never do another souk off a vault.
Yeah.
Which I know you have no clue what any of that means.
No idea. But I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to nod, I'm going to smile, and I'm going to say yeah to whatever you say, Dan, because I'm supporting you.
Yes. I'm not even going to try describing it to you because you'd be so clueless. But
yeah.
I need gymnasts out there who knows what I'm talking about. You'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't look up what a giant double back and... What was the third one I said? Souk off a vault is. Look it up. And then I had fun with it. But it was, like, sad. So I can see for the seniors why it's going to be kind of like this bittersweet memory for them. You know, graduating high school, finally, after these 4 years. The thing they've been waiting for 4 years, but now their life is changing drastically in a matter of days.
Yeah, I'm not even there yet, and I'm terrified.
Yeah, I have, like, a year left, and I'm kind of like, you're kidding me, right? I have, like, 1 year left, and my life begins. I'm like, you're kidding me.
I'm responsible for myself after this?
In, like, 1 year? No, I don't want to be responsible. So it's going to be interesting to see for all the seniors. I really hope all the best for all of them.
Yeah.
I know most of them have committed to colleges.
Yeah. But if not, that's okay, too. You know, figure out your own journey. You know?
Yeah, everyone has a different journey. Some people are going to go to college. Some people are going to go to college for a year, say no thanks, and... Like one of the old football guys, the guy that was a captain, he graduated in our 8th grade year, or at the end of our 8th grade year.
Yeah.
What was his name? I believe it was Jake Griffin, I'd like to say was his name. I don't know his last name, but I just called him Jake. And he came back as a wrestling coach a couple times, and he was super fun. And he went to Wennick, and after a year at Wennick, he couldn't stand it. He did not like college. And he got in touch with one of our other coaches and said, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get out. And he enlisted. Another one of our coaches did that. He just said, hey, I don't want to do this. I want to get out. He was a UPS driver. He was like 25, 26. And he just stopped. He quit UPS and he enlisted in the Army. So, like, I know, like, a lot of people are going to end up military. A lot of people are going to end up in college.
Yeah.
And
or both.
Some people are both. Hopefully, for me, clearly by my Beat Army shirt, I want to go Navy. I want to go Naval Academy.
Army.
Beat Army.
You beat him in football?
Well, football, wrestling, anything. Beat Army.
That's weird, because I was under the impression that, like, Army was better.
I was under the impression that Navy was better, because if you look
that's weird, because I've been talking to Army recruiters.
Well, if you've been looking at, like, who athletically has been winning this year.
Oh, athletically. I'm talking about real world. See, I also heard something that SEALs make movies.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Green Berets make history.
That's debatable.
Now, I just saw that in a meme, and I don't really have anything to support it.
Yeah.
But that sounds so cool.
I don't know. I think being a Navy SEAL would be pretty cool if you had to ask me.
But what are the odds that either of us end up doing that?
What?
What are the odds that either of us end up doing that? Slim to none.
Well, for me, I could see it better than me becoming a Green Beret. I could see me.
Because you're going to the Navy.
I want to go into the Navy anyways. I'm going to do some kind of ROTC guaranteed. Whether I go to the Naval Academy or do a Navy ROTC, I'm definitely going into the Navy.
Yeah.
It's just, how am I going to get there? But yeah, I'm pretty sure, Navy's safer. I know a couple people that, like, one of the subs at the school, he was ex-Army, and he was telling me that, like, he should have went Navy because if he went to the Navy, the thing about Navy is you tend to have a better chance of, like, not necessarily normal life, but you have better chances of success after you leave.
Yeah.
Versus Army, it kind of gives you a good family. So you have connections when you leave, but you have connections. You still have to build more relationships. You have to kind of start from base again.
Yeah.
Versus Navy, you start high, and then you start middle, and then you just have to work up from middle. Versus Army, where you can start in the middle when you go in, and then you drop when you leave, and then you have to work your way all the way back up again. And that's the only issue I have with Army. But I know that's how it is with a lot of different things. And again, everyone's experience is different. So one person could have that in the Navy, another person could have absolutely nothing in the Navy coming out and wish they went Army. So there's 100 different reasons to do it.
I still don't even really know what I want to do. I'm just trying to keep my options open. I'm not really opposed to a lot of things at this point. I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I want to do something. I don't know.
I've been trying to get college recruited for wrestling, and I just can't because I can't find any. Like, I don't know how to do it. So, like, I made highlight tapes. I posted them. I made my Twitter account. I've DM'd coaches. I'm going to wrestling camps. I'm doing everything I can for it. I don't know enough, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm trying.
I mean, is anybody you could ask,
Yeah, I'm gonna ask a bunch of different people. Definitely teachers. They've been seeing it for years now. How it's going. You keep bumping into that light, don't you?
Is this on a light?
I think that's a light. Right? It's a ring light? That's a ring light.
This light. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
All right. Well, in light of that, we should probably start wrapping this up. It's been pretty long.
I was about to say, let's wrap it up. Thank you all for joining us today. If you have any suggestions for the podcast, email us at spartanspectatorcast@gmail.com. Thank you, Adler, for making a couple taps in front of the microphone because they get very entertaining. So thank you all, and we will see you next week.
Bye.